Excellency, the Governor General, Honorable Speaker of Parliament, His Lordship, Chief Justice.
Seated. Parliament is resumed. Honourable members, His Excellency the Governor General will now address Parliament. Your Excellency.
Thank you, Speaker. The Honourable Speaker of the National Parliament of Solomon Islands, Your Lordship, the Chief Justice, the Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Deputy Prime Minister, Honourable Cabinet Ministers, Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition, Honourable Leader of Independent Members of Parliament, Honourable Deputy Speaker, Honourable Members of Parliament, Your Excellency Head of Missions, Provincial Premiers and Lord Mayors of Honiara City, Reverend Church Leaders, Constitutional Post Holders and Permanent Secretaries, Traditional Chiefs and Leaders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Honourable Speaker, as the constitutional representative of His Majesty King Charles III, the head of state of our independent and sovereign Solomon Islands, it is my solemn duty and distinct honour to present this traditional speech from the throne, marking the opening of the third meeting of the 12th Parliament. On behalf of His Majesty, I extend warm greetings and best wishes to the National Parliament and express my sincere gratitude to the Honourable Prime Minister for inviting me to give this important address. This is my second such opportunity and I remain deeply humbled by the responsibility. Honourable Speaker, as we commence the business of this session, let us reflect on the guiding principles of our nation, our motto, to lead is to serve. This is a call not just to those in leadership, but to all Solomon Islanders. We are each called to serve with integrity and dedication under God's guidance. These principles are at the heart of our government commitment to national transformation. The Government for National Unity and Transformation, GNAT, seeks to reshape our economic, social, cultural, spiritual, and political landscape through 4 strategic pillars. 1. Economic transformation. 2. Infrastructure development. 3. Unity and stability. And 4. Human capital development. These pillars form the foundation of a stronger, more resilient Solomon Islands, but the success of this vision rests on all of us. It is through our collective unity and active participation that we will advance our nation's progress. On behalf of the government, I reaffirm our deep loyalty to our national symbols, the flag, the anthem, and the Constitution of Solomon Islands. These principles are at the heart of our government's commitment to transformation. Honorable Speaker, let me now turn my attention to the vision, goal, and policies of the government. The vision of the Government for National Unity and Transformation, GNAT, is one of the national unity, transformative economic development, and prosperity for all Solomon Islanders. To realize this vision, the government is committed to implementing sound and empowering policies that enable our people to participate actively and meaningfully in the national economy. GNAT formulates policy. It is the public service, government institutions, and state-owned enterprises that must translate these policies into results through timely and effective implementation. Permanent secretaries, as the administrative heads of ministries, must lead with diligence. They are responsible not only for managing policies implementation, but also for ensuring high staff performance. There is no room for complacency or incompetence within our public institutions. We expect public servants to fully understand and execute government policies. The public payroll now exceeds $1 billion. This significant investment must be matched by the increase in productivity, accountability, and delivery across the public sector. We also have many qualified graduates without employment. Let us not forget, where performance falters, there are capable citizens ready to serve. Public service must put a stop to the practice of transferring incompetent staff to other ministries. This is not a solution. It's simply passing the buck. Ministers must work closely with their permanent secretaries to ensure that GNAT policies and cabinet directives are implemented with urgency and integrity. Any obstacle that impedes urgent implementation of government policy must be removed. I trust that the new Public Service Bill, which will be tabled in this Parliament, will further address these issues and strengthen institutional discipline. Honourable Speaker, the government 4 key strategic policies are implemented across all government ministries through an integrated approach that is organized under 4 primary sectors. Number 1, fundamental sector. Number 2, productive sector. Number 3, social sector. And number 4, resource sector. All ministries are grounded under these 4 sectors to deliver on the government's overarching goals of unity, growth, and transformation. Let me now present to this Honourable House the work of the Government of National Unity and transformation under each of these tragic pillars. Fundamental sector, the office of the Prime Minister and Cabinet. Honourable Speaker, sir, the office of the Prime Minister and Cabinet will introduce to Parliament the constitutional amendment bill to facilitate the advancement of the state government system. This is a highly priority for the government in this current meeting. The review of the Political Parties Integrity Act is also scheduled for this year. It has been over a decade since the legislation was enacted. An update is timely and necessary. 2 by-elections, 1 national and 1 provincial, are set to take place in June. The government will also host several important regional events in the coming days, including the Pacific Island Forum Leaders Meeting, the Pacific Water Ministers Forum, the Pacific Islands Telecommunications Association 29th Annual General Meeting, and the Business Forum and Expo 2025. I call on all Solomon Islanders to extend a warm and respectful welcome to our visitors during this engagement. The Office of the Prime Minister and Cabinet, a central coordinating ministry, is also responsible for the leading the implementation of whole-of-government and whole-of-society policy initiatives across the country. Ministry of Finance and Treasury. The government is closely monitoring the ongoing tariff tensions and is taking necessary steps to mitigate any political impacts. Solomon Islands falls under President Trump's reciprocal tariff baseline of 10%, whereas some of our neighbors face significantly higher tariffs. Fiji at 32%, Nauru at 30%, and Vanuatu at 22%. This presents a competitive advantage for our kava exporters to the United States, especially given the importance of this commodity to regional economies. Honourable Speaker, Parliament approved the 2025 national budget in December last year with a total of $5.2 billion. The budget includes an overall deficit of $1.274 billion, mainly attributed to development expenditures. Cabinet has since endorsed the 2025 SIG expenditures and financing strategies to address this shortfall. The 2025 budget is guided by theme accelerating accountable and transformative investments, a pathway towards resilient and sustainable economy. Consultations have already begun on the framework for the 2026 budget. It is imperative that budget allocation and spending be guided by strategic priorities. With limited resources, we must focus on areas of comparative advantage, enhance rural participation, and adopt a private sector-led approach to developing our productive and resource sectors. As part of ongoing fiscal reforms, the government is reviewing the national tax system. The aim is to introduce a fair and simple and broad-based tax regime that ensures everyone pays their appropriate share. The tax reform agenda is extensive and resource-intensive. The government has chosen to implement it in phases. Phase 1 involves the Tax Administration Act, which has already been passed, and the forthcoming Value-Added Tax Act, which is expected to be tabled in Parliament shortly. Phase 2 began in 2024 with Cabinet's endorsement of key policy directions, This phase will include reforms to the Income Tax Act, followed by reviews of exercise and resource rent taxes. Ministry of Foreign Affairs and External Trade. As a least developed countries LDC, Solomon Islands continues to advocate for their trade rules, including special and differential treatment to accommodate the vulnerabilities and unique challenges of small island states. The smooth transition strategy prepared by the Ministry of Planning has indicated that trade impacts of our eventual graduation from LDC status will be minimal and manageable. As a small island state on the front lines of climate change, we view the United States' renewed withdrawal from the Paris Agreement in January 2025 with regret. While the US remains within the broader United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, we urge reconsideration of this decision, as well as its withdrawal from the World Health Organization and the Human Rights Council, in the spirit of global cooperation. Honorable Speaker, our strategic partnership with China continues to strengthen. Notable developments including the opening of Comprehensive Medical Center in January and the launch of Aoki Road Rehabilitation and Sealing Project. We express our gratitude to Japan for its additional grant support to the Kilufi Hospital, signed in March 2025. We also acknowledge the government of India for donation of dialysis equipment to our National Referral Hospital, and thank Papua New Guinea for their ongoing partnership, particularly in the education and human resource sectors. Work is underway to establish a reciprocal visa arrangement with the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region of China. Similar agreements are being pursued with Serbia, Cuba, and the Republic of Korea to allow for extended stays. Engagement with the Australian have also progressed. I am pleased to report that the Western Border Project will be completed by 2026, while land acquisition for the Temotu region is currently ongoing. Furthermore, Solomon Islands has been elected to serve on the International Renewable Energy Agency's Council for the next 2 years, and Saudi Arabia has recently provided support to Honiara energy needs. We successfully hosted the SDG 14.4 Summit in February 2024. The outcomes of that summit will contribute to the UN Ocean Conference in France in June. The government has also committed to ratify both the agreement on biodiversity of our areas beyond national jurisdictions under UNCLOS and the Samoan Agreement, which will guide our relationship with the EU and ACP countries. During the first quarter of 2025, Solomon Islands received diplomatic credentials from 10 new ambassadors, representing countries across Americas, Asia, Europe, and the Pacific. We also bid farewell to His Excellency Mr. Moses Cole, outgoing Dean of the Diplomatic Corps and High Commissioner of Papua New Guinea, and welcome His Excellency Mr. Rod Hilton, Australia's High Commissioner, as the new Dean. We continue to uphold our foreign policies of friends to all and enemy to none. In line with this, the Ministry is developing a new foreign policy framework to guide our international engagement. Ministry of National Planning and Development Coordination. During the first quarter of 2025, the Ministry of National Planning and Development Coordination delivered several key GNAT policies initiatives, including 1. Initiation of the National Planning Bill with support secured from the Asian Development Bank. 2. formalization of the MNDP Standards Committee by Cabinet decision. 3. Completion of the smooth transition strategy for LDC graduation. 4. Finalization of the National Development Strategy midterm review. 5th. Commencement of consultation on the upgraded 2023 Solomon Islands National Infrastructure Priority Pipeline with provinces and line ministries. Our development partners continue to play a vital role in implementing the National Development Strategy 2016 to 2035. I express our appreciation for their unwavering support. I note that several partners are either reviewing or have recently launched updated cooperation frameworks, including the Australia-Solomon Islands Development Partnership 2024 to 2029. I urge all partners to adhere to national aid management and development cooperation policy and the principles outlined in the Partnership for Effective Development Cooperation. The Ministry of Public Service. The Ministry is undertaking significant legislative reform to modernize and strengthen the public service framework. These reforms aim to ensure that our public service is efficient, responsive to national needs, and aligned with both local realities and international standards. Progress includes the comprehensive review of Public Service Act and its subsidiary legislation, including the General Orders. Cabinet has endorsed the Public Service Bill, and it is currently being finalized by the Attorney General's chambers for tabling in the Parliament. Work is also ongoing to draft the finalize accompanying subsidiary legislation. The Public Service Bill is expected to be enacted during this parliamentary session. Ministry of Traditional Governance, Peace and Ecclesiastical Affairs. The Ministry recognizes peace as a fundamental and ongoing national priority. Although peace has been sustained since the end of the conflict, it remains fragile and resource-constrained, especially at this 25-year mark. In alignment with the government's peace policy, the Ministry has consolidated a long-term strategic program to strengthen national peace building and state building. This streamlined approach seeks to amplify visibility, scale impact, and attract greater donor support. Our aim is to embed traditional governments and church partnership within the whole of community framework for peace and resilience. By addressing the legacies of past conflict and building inclusive national identity, we can prevent a return to instability and lay the foundation for robust, productive, and harmonious Solomon Islands. Productive sector, Ministry of Infrastructure Development. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Infrastructure Development remains committed to its strategic policy goal of enhancing prosperity and public well-being through integrated, efficient, and affordable infrastructure and transport system delivered by ethical, professional, and valued public servants. The Ministry is preparing to bring the National Building Standard Bill to Parliament. This bill has been approved by Cabinet. It represents our national commitment to ensuring that all buildings meet high safety and quality standards, safeguarding lives, securing investment, and strengthening our resilience to national disaster. I urge this Honourable House to recognise the urgency of this bill. Work is also underway on a policy framework to re-establish the Public Works Department, PWD. Once approved by the Cabinet, this initiative will provide a clear path for revitalizing the PWD, ensuring better maintenance of our road networks and more responsive service to our people. Additionally, the Ministry is developing a government vehicle policy to ensure a structured and transparent system for the acquisition, use, maintenance, and disposal of all government vehicles. Ministry of Commerce, Immigration, Labour and Industry. Mr. Speaker said, this ministry is focused on building an environment that attracts both local and foreign investors. Through reforming regulatory frameworks, simplifying procedures and introducing incentives, we seek to encourage investments that create jobs, facilitate knowledge transfer, and uplift communities across the country. Our work in 2025 will be guided by inclusivity and sustainability, ensuring that the benefits of economic growth extend to every citizen. Collaboration with public agencies, the private sector, and civil society will remain central to our strategy. We are committed to a policy framework that fosters long-term prosperity and leaves no one behind. It is our hope that through unity and cooperation, we can realize a shared vision of transformation for our nation. The Ministry's 6 key development programs are as follows. 1. Trade and export development. 2. Private sector and MSME development. 3. Value adding and downstream processing. 4. Ministerial reform, coordination and monitoring. 5. Industry and commercial estate development, special economic zones and economic growth centers. And 6. E-commerce advancement. Honourable Speaker said the Special Economic Zone Bill is now before this Honourable House and will be addressed in this meeting. Additional reforms are in progress and the Honourable Minister will provide further details in his reply. Ministry of Aviation and Communication. Honourable Speaker said the Ministry of Communication and Aviation continues to advance our vision of vibrant, connected, accessible and safe communication and aviation services, essential for driving national economic growth. The Ministry is delivering its work through 3 core programs. 1. International Airport Development. 2. Provincial Airport Development. And 3. National Communication Infrastructure. Significant work is underway to improve the capacity of our international airport. Rehabilitation of providing airstrips is also progressing, with some already completed. To ensure the safety and efficiency of our upper airspace, the government has entered into a 5-year agreement with Air Services Australia. This interim measure is necessary due to current technical and technological limitations, but our long-term goal remains full domestic management of our sovereign airspace. A committee has been established to review and update the Solomon Islands Aviation Act 2008, aligning it with evolving international standards and closing regulatory gaps. The National Broadband Infrastructure Project is processing well. 63 towers have been completed, 41 are under construction, and 57 additional sites across Malaita, Makira, Temotu, and Reno and Bellona remain in the pre-construction phase. A review of the Telecommunication Act 2009 is also underway, alongside the drafting of the Cybercrime Bill to enhance the safety, security, and integrity of our digital environment. Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock continues to make significant headway in delivering on its key priorities. The Ministry is guided by 7 core objectives. Number 1, organizational and functional restructuring. Number 2, legislative review and modernization. Number 3, revitalization of agricultural extension services. Number 4, growth in export commodities and value-added production. Number 5, diversification of agricultural output. Number 6, strengthening of research capacity through the Agricultural Research Center. Number 7, protection of native species and improved market access. The Honourable Minister will provide tremendous progress that has been made in his reply to this House. Ministry of Culture and Tourism. Honourable Speaker, the Ministry of Culture and Tourism continues to rise in national importance, and the government has significantly increased its 2025 budget allocation to reflect its central role in our economic diversification strategy. The Ministry's 2025 annual work plan focuses on 3 principal areas. Number 1, tourism development and institutional strengthening. Number 2, national tourism product development. Number 3, cultural heritage and tourism infrastructure. Legal and policy reforms are being persuaded to modernize outdated legislations. This reform will enable stronger investment, improved service delivery, and more sustainable tourism practices. The Ministry is working with partners to identify investment-ready sites and to expand community-based tourism, empowering local entrepreneurs, especially youth, while protecting culture and the environment. Tourism Solomon has stepped up its international marketing and digital outreach. New markets are being explored, and Solomon Islands is now more visible in regional and global travel expos. Honourable Speaker, this integrated approach is expected to drive steady growth in visitors' arrival, enhance tourism contribution to our national GDP, and open new opportunities across our islands. Ministry of Lands, Housing and Survey. Honourable Speaker, land remains central to the nation's development. With around 85% of the land under customary ownership, the government recognizes the needs to strengthen land reform to support inclusive and sustainable growth. Unlocking the development potential of land, urban, rural, and customary requires policies that respect ownership while enabling productive use. To this end, the government will prioritize a review of land and title acts, boundaries, mapping, and legal recognition of customary and tribal lands. These reforms are essential to empower landowners, improve land governance, and ensure broader participation in national development. Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources. Honourable Speaker, the government remains steadfast in its vision to transform the fisheries sector into a powerful engine of inclusive economic growth. In 2024, the government allocated $7 million to increase seaweed production. This year, we have deepened that commitment with an additional $11 million. This investment reflects our strong belief in the sector's potential to uplift our people and generate income for our communities. As announced by the Prime Minister last month, His Majesty's government has committed to allocate $10 million annually beginning in 2026 towards key national projects, including the Bina Harbour onshore tuna processing plant. This long-term commitment affirms our resolve to deliver the BINA project and strengthen both economic security and regional leadership. We have also taken action to improve the value of our beach steamer fishery. Commercial hatcheries have been approved to mass-produce sea cucumbers, a first for sector, which will enhance sustainability and long-term returns. Later this year, gift tilapia, a new breed of tilapia, will be introduced. Hatchery operations will follow, providing our farmers with new income streams and a stronger foundation for improving livelihoods. Finally, we remain committed to the sustainable management of our fisheries. His Majesty's government, under its national, regional and international obligations, continues to work with partners and stakeholders to protect our marine environment and secure long-term food and economic security. Social sector, Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development. Honourable Speaker, Sir, the Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development, MEHRD, remains steadfast in its mission to strengthen Solomon Islands' education system by ensuring equitable access, quality learning and workforce readiness. To this end, the Ministry is actively advancing key policies and legislative reforms to support long-term sustainable educational development. MEHRD's strategic focus areas for the period 2025 to 2030 include the basic and secondary education, expanding access, improving curriculum relevance, and strengthening teachers' training. TVET and skill development, enhancing vocational education to meet labour market demands. Higher education and scholarships, increasing access to tertiary education, particularly at SINU, through innovative financing mechanisms. Education governance and policy reform, guided by the new education legislative framework, which includes the 2023 Education Act, education regulations, the Education Funding Code, Learning Framework, the Secondary Education Certificate Scheme, and 6 Administrative Instructions Manual. These reforms aim to improve access to quality education, raise teaching standards, and strengthen governance and resource management across the education sector. In addition, the Solomon Islands Tertiary Education and Skill Authority, SATESA, Act is under review. A new tertiary student loan scheme and a revised national scholarship policy are being developed. Work on a national TVET policy is also progressing. Ministry of Health and Medical Service. Honourable Speaker, say for the first time in many years, the Government for National Unity and Transformation has significantly increased the 2025 budget for the national medical stores, which now stands at $125 million. This reflects our serious commitment to improving access to essential medicines and health supplies. The Ministry has advanced the review of the Health Services Act 1988 amendments, and it's also undertaking review of the Dangerous Drug Act, Pharmacy and Poisons Act, Nursing Council Act, and the Medical and Dental Practitioners Act. Some of these may be amended, while others may require comprehensive new legislation. In human resource development, the Ministry increased training allocation from $2.5 million in 2024 to $5 million in 2025. This has enabled the recruitment and development of 180 nurses and 35 doctors, most of whom has been posted to provincial health facilities, where they are already strengthening the delivery of essential service. Major infrastructure investments have also been undertaken over the past 2 years, focusing on area health centers and rural health centers, including number 1, Conide AHC Level 1, Isabel Province. Number 2, Kututaunga AHC Level 1, Tikopia Temotu. Number 3, Manuopo AHC Level 1, Reef Islands, Temotu Province. Number 4, Wagina AHC Level 1, Churchill Province. Number 5, Dedeu RHC, Isabel Province. Number 6, Gounata Air RHC, Malaita Province. Number 7, Leona RHC, Vela Vela, Western Province. Number 8, renovation of Sulufoloa RHC, Malaita Province. Further infrastructure assessment are underway to guide budgeting for 2026 and beyond. This assessment will form the basis for the comprehensive infrastructure roadmap in the alignment with the National Health Strategic Plan 2022 to 2031. Notably, the renovation of Kukum AHC, one funded by DFAT, is ongoing and scheduled for completion in the second quarter of 2025. Ministry of Provincial Government and Institutional Strengthening. Honourable Speaker, Sir, the Ministry is reviewing the proposed amendments to the Provincial Government Act 1997, with a final draft expected to undergo provincial consultation before submission to Cabinet in July 2025. A Cabinet paper is also being prepared for the Revenue Sharing Bill, which will allow drafting instructions to proceed through the Attorney General's chambers. Submission for Cabinet consideration is expected in May 2025. The Provincial Capacity Development Fund, PCDF, assessment for 2022-2023 has been finalized. Malaita, Makiraulawa, Renbel, Isabel, and Guadalcanal provinces have qualified for development budget totaling SBD $63.2 million, comprising SIG contribution, SBD $30 million, World Bank IEDCR, SBD $18.7 million, UNCDF, SBD $14.5 million. The SIG contribution has already been mobilized, with partner funding expected to follow shortly. The 2023-2024 PCDF assessment began in March 2025, with Guadalcanal Central and Malaita already reviewed. Completion is anticipated by June 2025. A consultant-led review of the PCDF Operations Manual and Annual Assessment Manual has submitted and is now under consideration. Final approval is expected by the end of May 2025. Additionally, a midterm review of the World Bank-funded IEDCR project is in progress, with a report expected by June 2025. Ministry of Police, National Security and Correctional Service. Honourable Speaker, Sir, the Government has launched the National Security Strategy 2025, providing a comprehensive framework to address evolving threats, including climate-related risk, transnational crime, and regional geopolitical shifts. An implementation plan is being developed, and work is underway on national security legislation to give full legal effect to the strategy. The Ministry is also progressing a review of national border strategy and development of maritime security strategy. These initiatives are vital to strengthen our sovereignty, border protection, and national preparedness. Ongoing review of the Police Act and Correctional Service Act are also moving forward, with stakeholders' consultation schedules in the coming months. Additionally, the Ministry has initiated review of the Dangerous Drugs Act and the Road and Transport Act. Through these fall under other ministries. They are being examined from a national security perspective to address key operational gaps. Ministry of Women, Youth, Children and Family Affairs. Honourable Speaker, sir, the Ministry will soon present a Cabinet paper proposing temporary special measures to address the underrepresentation of women in politics. Specifically at the provincial level. Solomon Islands is a youthful nation. In 2025, an estimated 70% of the population, approximately 443,000 of 636,750 people are under the age of 34. This figure is projected to rise to over 600,000 by 2030 and 839,000 by 2050, representing nearly 62% of our expected total population. This demographic is not a burden, but a national asset. Young people are a vital force for change, innovation, and sustainable development. They must be empowered, supported, and given the tools to shape our nation. Honourable Speaker, sir, youth employment remains one of the most pressing national challenges. The lack of meaningful work opportunities leave many young people feeling hopeless and vulnerable, sometimes leading to antisocial behaviour, substance abuse, and crime. Contributing to this challenge is the rural-urban migration trade, with many youths relocating to urban centres such as Honiara. This migration places significant pressures on housing, service, law enforcement, and urban family structure. Despite these challenges, the government is fully committed to implementing meaningful policies and initiatives to empower youth and promote long-term inclusive development. Ministry of Home Affairs. Honourable Speaker, sir, the government has completed Civil Registration Bill 2025 and Cabinet has endorsed it. For the Honiara City Council, it has operated without a financial management ordinance for over 2 decades. In response, the Ministry is currently developing a comprehensive and inclusive financial management ordinance to improve the Council's budgeting, expenditure oversight, and fiscal accountability. Resource sector, Ministry of Mines, Energy, and Rural Electrification. Honourable Speaker, sir, the Government of National Unity and Transformation reaffirms its commitment to the responsible and sustainable management of our natural resources, spanning the sector of mining, energy, water, and rural electrification, so that they may contribute meaningfully to the long-term socio-economic progress of our beloved Solomon Islands. In pursuit of this commitment, the Ministry of Mines, Energy and Rural Electrification is leading key reforms, undertaking strategic national projects and strengthening institutional capacity across all areas under its mandate. The Mineral Resource Bill, which is the product of extensive national consultations, is ready for the parliamentary debate during this meeting. This legislation reflects the government's vision for more transparent, inclusive and sustainable mineral sector with strong emphasis on protecting the rights and interests of resource owners. Water as a vital national asset must be safeguarded. As development accelerates, especially in mining and energy sectors, the sustainable management of water becomes increasingly urgent. a water resource bill is being developed to provide a comprehensive legal framework for the stewards, conservation, and fair allocation of our water resources. Further reforms are underway through the Petroleum Legislation Review and Reform Projects, which focuses on updating the Petroleum Exploration Act to ensure it aligns with both our environmental responsibilities and economic ambitions. The Ministry is also reviewing the Continental Shelf Act and the Delimitation of Marine Waters Act to secure Solomon Islands' sovereign rights over offshore oil, gas, and mineral resources. The government has endorsed the establishment of a national geochemical laboratory, a landmark initiative for the country. This facility will serve multiple sectors, including mining, agriculture, environment, and education, by providing timely, reliable, and scientific analytical services. Energy remains a cornerstone of our national development. Guided by the outcomes of the 2024 National Energy Summit, the Ministry is advancing reforms to ensure reliable, affordable, and clean energy for all. This includes 1. Amendments to the Electricity Act to improve sector governance and regulation. 2. Development of national energy roadmap, prioritizing rural electrification and renewable energy. 3. Establishment of an energy regulator to ensure fair pricing, transparency, and competitiveness while creating a more attractive investment climate. This continued progress of the Tina River Hydro project stands as a national milestone, demonstrating the power of partnership and government's unwavering commitment to renewable energy and climate resilience. Ministry of Forest and Research. Honourable Speaker, turning now to the forestry sector. Our natural forests remain one of the most precious national assets. The Ministry of Forest and Research is progressing important legal reforms to ensure their responsible use and long-term preservation. The long-awaited Forest Resource and Timber Utilisation Bill is nearly finalisation and is expected to be brought before the Honourable House. Along this legislation, a series of regulatory reforms are at various stages of development, including: number 1, Forest Resource and Timber Utilisation Renewal of Filling License Regulations 2024. Number 2, updates to the 8% downstream processing requirements. Number 3, Forest Resource and Timber Utilisation Plantation Felling Permit Regulations. Number 4, review of the Solomon Islands Code of Harvesting Practice. And number 5, new regulations under the Forest Resources and Timber Utilisation Amendment Bill 2025. These reforms aim to strengthen forest governance, promote sustainable harvesting practices, and increase domestic value-adding opportunities in the timber sector. Ministry of Environment, Climate Change, Disaster Management and Meteorology. Honourable Speaker, as we move from forest to our broader environment, the government continues to prioritise the protection of our ecosystem and the responsible stewardship of our natural environment. The Ministry of Environment, Climate Change, Disaster Management and Meteorology is working diligently to strengthen legal and institutional framework that supports conservation, biodiversity, protection, waste management, and pollution control. We are committed to striking the right balance between economic development and environmental responsibility. A new environmental bill, which is a key legislative priority, is being developed and will be brought before Parliament by mid-2025. This will ensure our legal foundations for environmental protection are modern, comprehensive, and fit for purpose. Ministry for Rural Development. Honourable Speaker, attending now to rural developments, our government recognises that empowering rural communities is central to building national resilience and inclusive growth. The Ministry for Rural Development, MRD, continues to lead implementation of the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, Act 2023, with a strong focus on building capacity among constituency officers and ensuring community participation in development planning. To support these efforts, standard operating procedures and implementation guidelines have been introduced. 95% of constituency development committees have been formally appointed under the new law. The CDF regulations are currently being finalized by Attorney General's chambers and are expected to be gazetted in the second quarter of 2025. The Ministry has also launched a series of civic outreach programs to help communities understand the provision of the CDF Act and how they apply in practice. In the first quarter of 2025 alone, the Ministry visited 8 constituencies and conducted more than 24 public awareness activities in villages across the country. These efforts reflect our government commitment to transparency, accountability, and meaningful participation in rural development. Legislative Program for 2025. Honourable Speaker, I now present a summary of the key legislative instruments that the government intends to bring before this Honourable House during the 2025 session. These bills are: 1. Special Economic Zone Bill. Number 2, Public Service Bill. Number 3, Mineral Resource Bill. Number 4, Electricity Amendment Bill. Number 5, Constitution Amendment Constituent Assembly Bill. Number 6, National Building Standards Bill. Number 7, Civil Registration Bill. Number 8, Forest Resource and Timber Utilization Amendment Bill 2025. And finally, number 9, Environment Bill. Honourable Speaker, as I conclude this traditional speech from the throne, I call upon all ministers of the Crown to take full ownership of the policies I have outlined today. These are not merely government initiatives, they are solemn commitments to the people of Solomon Islands. I also urge all permanent secretaries to ensure the timely and effective implementations of these policies. What I have presented today represents only some of the most pressing initiatives that the government intends to pursue in the immediate future. With unity of purpose, shared responsibility, and unwavering dedication, I believe we can realize these aspirations together. Each minister will elaborate on their respective policy priorities when they deliver their speech in reply. This will be an opportunity to provide deeper insight into the implementation strategies and outcomes envisioned for our nation. Mr. Speaker, let me express my heartfelt gratitude to all development partners and donors for their continued support. Your contributions have played a vital role in our progress. We thank you sincerely. To our people listening across all provinces today, thank you. Your steadfast support of the government continues to be our strength. Honourable Speaker of the National Parliament of Solomon Islands, thank you for your wise and steady stewardship of this House, the symbol of our democracy. May God continue to guide and bless you as you lead the 12th Parliament. To the Honourable Prime Minister, may God bless, guide and strengthen you as you lead our nation forward. To the Deputy Prime Minister and Ministers of the Crown, may God grant you wisdom as you support our shared vision and serve our people with integrity. To the Honourable Chief Justice, may God bless you, your fellow judges, and the entire judiciary as you continue to protect and uphold the rule of law. And to all honorable members of Parliament, may God's blessing be upon you as you represent the hopes and wishes, the voices of our people in this sacred chamber. Together, let us remain steadfast in our commitment to unity, service, and national transformation. God save our gracious Queen. God bless our beloved Solomon Islands from shore to shore.
Thank you, Your Excellency and honourable members. With that delivery by the representative of the His Majesty King Charles III, let me now adjourn Parliament until 9:30 a.m. on Monday, 28 April 2025.